Hello everyone and welcome to this new series. Today we are starting a series called Ark, Beginner's Guide. And we are going to use the island as our map through this thing. But before we get into it, and especially if you are new to Ark or even thinking about getting Ark, we're going to go over the options and how I have my game set. So stick around, be right back. Okay, guys and gals, we're going to go over the options. You might want to lower some of your settings compared to mine, or just leave it at normal. My settings are actually set for my YouTube series, and unfortunately, you can't save settings for different events. So let's go over the options first. This is your option page. You got 5 bars up top here. We're going to go over the general settings. Audio. Let's turn the music down a little bit. But these are your volumes. I usually have that up all the way. I don't know why that's down. But you got your master volume, your music. If you like to hear the music, crank it up. Since I'm talking, I gotta crank it down a little bit. Your sound effects level, your voice volume. Our voice volume really doesn't matter because we're playing solo players, so nobody's gonna be playing with us. Ambient volume and NPC volume. So we got that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to turn this down a little bit, and I'm actually going to turn down sound effects a little bit, and I'm going to keep my settings like that. Now you can adjust your music as you go along. This is where you can adjust your graphics settings. I have mine set at 1920 by 1080, which is 1080 Pi. I play in full screen, not windowed, but full screen. I have a custom setting, which is actually set at epic on everything. Now, it depends on your computer. I have a fast gaming computer. I can record this game, and usually I don't have lags and stuff like that. But you can set it from low all the way to epic. I got mine all set at epic, mainly because I record and I want to get the highest quality video recorded, or when I do my live streams out on live streams that my computer can handle. And my computer can handle everything on here. Get your sky quality, I got that at max. Your ground clutter density, I got that set at max. I got ground clutter. Distance. Okay, I'm like, wait a minute, that's the same thing. Distance, mesh, events, detail, I got that set at high. I got high quality and high quality on the first check. I don't use motion blur, so I unchecked that. I don't want film grade. This is basically your graphics settings. Distance field and all that's unchecked. Screen space, ambient occlusion, I got that checked. Allowance of max distance, I got that unchecked. I have disabled field shattering. I got that checked. I got that checked because if I had it unchecked, the shadows would be a lot different. And since I'm a YouTuber, you want to see more of what's going on. I had that checked. If you just want to play the game regularly and you're not recording, you can leave it unchecked. High quality materials, resources, I got that checked. Subsurface, I got that checked. High quality VFX, I got that checked. I got stimulus character moments, I got that unchecked. High quality LODs, I got that checked because I'm playing high quality. Extra level streaming distances, I got that checked. Cloud, I got that checked. Now light blooms, I got that unchecked because when I'm recording and the light blooms, they actually can blind people. Same thing with the light shafts. I don't have that checked. I got low quality level unchecked. The UI general, I got that fully max, and UI. This is when you go into your menu. When you go into your menu, which we'll go over later on, this tells you the size of the menu. This will tell you this. You got a 10 slot bar on the bottom. I have mine about midway. This is your camera quality. I have my shake set about 75%. Camera FOV, I got set about 50%. I'm sorry. The camera shake is about 60%. I got the camera FOV set there at 50. And looking left and right sensitivity, I got that turned down to about 30. And the look up and down, I got that turned down to about 30. Intervals, the third person camera offset, which means when you're in third person mode, it'd be offset to the left. I have that unchecked. You can have it checked if you like it. Disable third person camera view. So if you check that, you can't go into third person and you miss out on a lot of stuff. NPC subtitles, I got that checked. And if you change any of that, hit your apply, then hit save. The next menu up here is your advanced settings. I got my client network bandwidth set to epic. Inventory access sounds, I got that checked. Melee camera animation, I got that checked. Blood damage overlays, which means if you hit something, chopping up a dodo that you've already killed, you'll see the blood effects. If you don't want to see that, uncheck that. Floating names, I got that checked, which you'll see the name of the creature, the level, and all that. I got that checked. Join notifications, since we're playing single player, I don't have that checked. Chat bubbles, I really don't need that checked. Camera view Bob, I do have that checked. First person writing, I had that unchecked. If you are writing an animal and you have this checked, that means you'll only be in first person and you won't be able to see, you'll only be able to see if you're writing, and you won't be able to see around you and all that. You can't go into third person. So I had that unchecked, especially since I'm a YouTuber. Status notifications, I got that checked. That should be checked. This is Fahrenheit temperature. If you don't want Celsius and you are like me, living in the United States where we go by Fahrenheit instead of Celsius, I had that checked. I don't know why that was unchecked. Audio chat box, we don't need that. Hide server information, we don't need that. Topo effect, we definitely want that checked so we won't get surprised if our topo goes up and starts flash, an aura starts flashing, letting you know, hey, your topo's going out. If you had that unchecked, the next thing you know, you're passed out. So you want that checked. Chat flow, online ID, we don't have to worry about that. Chatting, we don't have to worry about that. So I got those unchecked. Toggling to talk, I got that unchecked because we're playing solo player. Allowed crosshairs, I got that checked. Allow hit markers, I got that checked. What hit markers are is every time you hit a dino, or if you're riding a dino and it does an attack, it shows the numbers on the attack, and I got that checked so people can see the amount of damage that I'm doing or my dino's doing. There's color items named, which I do have that checked. Disable menu, I got that unchecked. No tooltips, I do have that unchecked. Distance menu miscellaneous, I got that unchecked. Give default survivor items, I had that unchecked. And the reason why I had that unchecked is if you start the game, you and I still get some of the items that I've automatically gotten, but as you do nodes and stuff like that, you get a whole bunch of chibis and skins and stuff like that. Every time I got it unchecked. So when I start, I'll only have a couple things in my bag and I just dump them. And when I die, they don't reappear. The only things that stay in my bag are the stuff that I died with, and I'll go over mods a little in the next episode. Hide voting player's name. Now we're playing single player, so we don't need that. Quick toggle item names. Yes, I got that checked. Show selected items that your toolbar down below. I got that checked. If you don't have that checked, it won't highlight what tool you're using on that bar. Player action wheel, click sound. I got that checked. Toggle extension HUD information. I got that unchecked. You can, if you're new, I would recommend having that checked. Animations staggering, I had that unchecked, and low quality animations, I had that unchecked. If you change any of this, like I did, hit apply and then hit save. When you do hit save, it goes back to options. Next is your keyboards. The only thing I've changed on my keyboard is my item selection. I use the tab key, which is your toggle for your console, which you really don't need in the game unless you want to cheat. I don't use it, but if you want to cheat and do GM commands, I switch that to the I key, and my inventory, which is this one here, was I, so I switched that to tab. So I switched these two. That's everything else. I stayed the same. If you have an Xbox controller for your PC, you can set that up. And this is this RTS key bindings, and it lets you do whatever you want. I don't have any of that checked. So we'll go ahead, and now we're going to be hosted local. And here you got options. This is your single player options right here. These are your mods, which I'll go over mods a little bit differently. But we're gonna go over the settings over here. I'm gonna reset. This is default. Okay, I put this to 1. And the reason why I had that set at 1, it allows max level dinos to appear. The further you get, since it was down to here, you won't get max level dinos. I want max level dinos. It's a little bit harder. Dino damage, I'll leave that alone. Player damage, I increase that to 2, about 2. Structure damage, I'll leave that alone. Player resistance, what this does is higher the value decreases your resistance, so I actually turn this down to about 2.5. Dino resistance, I leave the same. Structure, I leave the same. Multiplier, right now we got it set at 1. I actually set it to about 2.25. Taming speed, I had that set down to 2.64 because the higher the number, the more you turn it up, it increases the length of taming. I decrease the length of taming. Structure damage cooldown, I'll leave that the same. Dino turret damage, I'll leave that as a set. Dino harvesting damage, I'll leave that normal. I actually increase my harvest amount, which is the player. I increase that to 3. Player character water drain. The higher it is, the quicker your water goes down. I actually turn it down to about 2. Food, the same. That means I have to drink less and eat less. Dino's characters, food and water, I turn that down a little bit. And I also turn down my stamina a little bit. Dino characters, I turn that just a little bit above what I'm at. Player health recovery, the higher the number means less healing goes on, so I turn that down. That means I heal a little bit quicker. I turn that down to about 0.5. A lot of stuff in here. Dino's character health, I turn that to about the same as mine. Player's harvesting damage, I turn that all the way up. Dino count, I have, it's automatically up. Non-distant hosts, I leave that set as is. Allow third-person camera, yes. Enable global voice chat, we don't need that. In global proxy, we don't need that. Notification player left, we don't need that. We don't need that either. Notification when they join you, because nobody's joining us. Admin log, Yeah, you can check that if you want to do some stuff. Enable crosshairs. Yes, we got that checked. Force HUD, we don't have that checked. Distance, loot crates, disable loot. Sorry, disable loot crates. We want to be able to loot crates. Hardcore mode, we don't want to be in hardcore mode. I leave PvE off. You can set it and it'll automatically change your stats in advance and in this, but I leave that unchecked because I customized mine. Show map player location. Yes, that means when you pull up your map, you can see you have a little indicator where you are on the map, so you want to know where you're at. So I click that. No tribute downloads, no survey downloads, no item downloads, no dino downloads. We keep that all unchecked. Maximum difficulty. Sometimes I check that, but in this series we're going to leave that unchecked because you really don't want to do that. PvP gamma we want to leave unchecked so you can see a little bit better at night. Use single player settings, yes, because we're using single players. Use corpse location because we want to find our corpses if we die. Disable structure placement collision, yes, we want to check that. The reason why we want to check that is so that way we can put items wherever we want. And sometimes you can overlap. You want that checked. So if the ground's a little bit uneven, it will help you still be able to place items down. Allow multi-platform floors. Yes. Allow unlimited recipes. Yes. Disable dino ratings. We don't have to worry about that. So show creative mode, we want that unchecked. If you want to be able to play in creative mode, you can go ahead and get that checked. Allow flyer speed leveling to be changed. I have that checked. That means I can change the speed level of my birds as I go along so I can make them faster. Advanced setting. Allow PvE timer. I'm not worrying about that. Allow PvE using system time. I'm not worrying about that. Prevent tribal alliances. Well, we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about tribes because we're playing single players, no tribes. Disable PvE gamma. I checked that because it allows you to see better at night, and I'm a YouTuber, so if I'm playing at night, it's more I can see more. Allow flying carrying PvE. Yes, we want that. That means your bird can pick up dinos and carry them even if they're not tamed, and you can carry them to where you need them. Enable extra structures prevention volumes. Yeah, we'll check that. Disable structure decay PvE. I check that. Disable dino decay. I'll leave that unchecked. PvE surrounding, we're not worrying about that. We'll leave that the way it is. Same thing with that. Auto PvE structure, we'll leave that at the setting that it is. Prevent diseases, we leave that unchecked. Non-persistent diseases, we go ahead and check. Force allow cave flyers. Okay. If you want your bird to be able to fly into caves, check that. I have mine checked. PvE dino decay. I'll leave that unchecked. Override structure platform Preservation, I really don't use platforms. Increase respawning intervals. Increase PvP respawn intervals, I'll leave that the way it is. Offline, we don't have to worry about. We don't have to worry about that. INC PvP resistance, I'll just leave that the way it is. I'll leave that the way it is. Increase respawn intervals base. If we turn this down, it will the respawns of the INC, your stuff like that. Zone structure damage, we'll leave that the way it is. Structure PV preventive resources radius, I turn this down to about 25. Or you can just go like this and put 2.5. I'll turn that down to there. World setting, distant impact buff, we leave that unchecked, which means your dinos, or it disables any buffs that your dinos will have. We leave that unchecked. Allow anyone to tame, well, with single player. Who in a bowl? I actually turn this down to about 0.25. That means they poop more. If you increase it, it decreases how much they poop. Laying egg intervals, since I'm breeding, I want to turn that down to about 2.5, 2.7. Mating interval, I turn that down to about 0.43. Egg hatching speed, I turn that down so the eggs hatch quicker. I actually turn it down to as far as I can get it, which is 0.1. Baby maturing speed, I turn that down to about 4.4. Baby food consumption speed, we leave that. Harvesting health, we turn that down. That means they'll be able to, the health will gain quicker. Resource spawn periods. And below the setting causes nodes to respawn more frequently. So I turn that down, and I turn it down to about 2.5. Baby cuddling time, I turn that down to about 2.5, about 0.4. We turn that down to about 0.42. Baby cuddling impression, turn that down so that way we'll have max. Now, all this is the settings I use. You can use any settings you want. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of people that have setting videos on that, and you might want to take a look at those and see what. But I turn this all down because I do a lot of breeding. Day cycle. Okay. Specifies the specific day and time, often day cycles to night, and so I turn that down to about 0.5. That's close enough. Daytime speed. It doesn't say it has specific. I turn that up, and I turn my night cycle down because I'll leave this the way it is, that the way it is, that the way it is. No force radius players, we don't have to worry about that. No resources radius structures, we turn this down to about 0.5. Crop growth speed. I actually turned that up to 0.5, 5 point, yeah, to about 5. Crop decay speed. I'll leave that the way it is. Wild dinos, I just leave them the way they are. Tame dinos, I do increase the health a little bit. And I do increase that, and that. Yeah, let's get them all lined up. I do increase them to those levels. About 2. Yeah, it'll just be easier to do this. 2, no, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I just put everything at 2. And additional levels, I put everything at 2, which is twice as much as normal. I just turn all that to 2. Temperature, I'll go up to 44. Weight 2. Damage 2, speed 2, temp force 2, and I just put 2s in all that stuff as we go down. Not 22, 2. 2, 2. Player stats. Now I do my health by 2. I do everything by 2, which means I'm going to increase all that. Don't worry about food and water. Temp, I can go ahead. Weight, I'm going to go ahead. Damage, I'm going to 2, which is twice as normal. We're going to 2 times on all this. Actually, I leave this all the way it's set, except for passive fighter. I don't worry about that. Only allows specific engrams. No, we don't do that. Show floating damage in text. I don't do that. I'll leave that checked. Allow rating dying food. I do check that. And I leave all this the way it's set. Now you can select the engrams. I just leave it the way it's set. So I'm not worrying about engrams. But this button over here, which I need to go ahead. If it has a folder like that and you click on it, you delete the folder, which I'm going to do because we are going to start with a new island. And same thing with here. These are the modded maps and the maps that Wildcard have introduced to the game. And you can run this as a single player, which is what we are going to be doing. We are going to run speed servers and all that. You can do all that, or you can just cancel. Okay, I am going to be changing. I got a lot of mods. We're going to be using specific mods for this. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and set up a link for the mods that we are going to be using for the island here in 2022. And we'll go ahead and set that up, and that way I can go back and forth and have different mods. So we'll go over mods in the next episode. So If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button and bell. That way you know when the latest videos I do come along and when I go live here on YouTube. Also, I have a Discord channel. If you have questions, comments, or just want to join, it's free to join. You're more than welcome to ask questions. It's a new Discord, so it's a basic Discord, but we'll get it up and running shortly. But you're more than welcome to join. Even if you're not a subscriber to my channel, you can join and ask questions. You can also ask questions, leave them down below in the comment sections. I try to answer everything I can. So, also, do me a favor. If this video has helped you, hit that like button. Maybe like I get this channel seen a little bit more, which helps grow this channel. And I would really appreciate that. And as always, have fun playing your games. Be safe out there in the world. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.